Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Richard Dick Blake Stadium on the campus of Cocoa High School. I am Alan Slaughterzinski, and tonight, the Space Coast Tarheels return to minor league football play as they will take on the Miami Chiefs. The Miami Chiefs come in tonight at 1-0, while the Tar Heels come in at 0-1. Both teams are members of the Florida Football Alliance. The Tar Heels moving over from a league last year. This is their third year in existence. Of course, they are owned by player-owner Roger Lewis. So last week, the Tar Heels and the Miami Chiefs each played a game. And from the looks of things, at least from what I could judge, checking out the Facebook page of the Miami Chiefs, they look like a pretty multiple offense. They like to get the ball up in the air a little bit. They returned a kick for a touchdown. There you see some of their highlights on the screen there from their win last week. Now, as for the Space Coast Tar Heels, they suffered a tough setback last week to the Southwest Florida Gators. They lost 43-6, 35 unanswered points in the second half by the Southwest Florida Gladiators. 35 unanswered points in the second half of that one last week led to the demise of the Space Coast Tar Heels. On offense, the Tar Heels are led by number 16, Matt Parsons, a quarterback, 6'6", 245 pounds, out of Ocoee, Florida. And so Parsons last year battled a knee injury all year long. In fact, pretty courageous in the fact that he even stayed on the field at times to play. I'd like to welcome in Chris Bonanno watching live here on 321 Sportscast tonight. And chime in. We are an interactive broadcast, and we absolutely would love to hear from you. Your referees this evening, Larry Torchia, the Hall of Famer, Torch, Jay Swaganen, Tavon Thomas, Ben Hay, Tim Smith, and Nick Wallace are your officials for tonight. The Chiefs are in orange, dressed in all orange, Cocoa Tiger orange, if you will. And the Tar Heels are getting set to come out onto the field. They will come out of the same entrance and use the same locker room as the Cocoa Tigers do. They are dressed in black with Tar Heel blue numbers. The Florida Football Alliance began back in 2007. It's an organized adult amateur minor league football league. The FFA dedicated to the promotion and advancement of adult amateur minor league American football players throughout the great state of Florida and throughout the nation. I would also like to tell everyone about tonight's broadcast and who it is sponsored by. It's sponsored by Broom Hildy. So we'd like to thank Broom Hildy for sponsoring tonight's game. You can get 4 rooms of carpet right now from Broom Hildy for just $59. How about 4 rooms of tile for $139? Broom Hildy, a full-service cleaning company specializing in home and office cleaning, schools, large businesses, carpet, tile, and grout, professional window cleaning, soft commercial, and residential cleaning. They are one company that can handle all of your cleaning needs. Give them a call, 321-539-0779. Once again, 4 rooms of carpet for $59 or 4 rooms of tiling grout for $139. And we are set for action here. Now, I'm going to let you all know right out of the gate, you're going to bear with me tonight. My first broadcast in a new league. I've got the roster checks. We do have some roster number changes tonight. Rick Rivers is wearing 33, Cameron Harris 5, and Josh Rivers number 11 for the Space Coast Tar Heels. Didn't get any officially from the Miami Chiefs. All I care about is as long as I didn't spell it Miami Chefs. The Chiefs are back to receive the opening kickoff and set to kick off for the Tar Heels. Looks like it'll be number 44, Eddie Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the 5'8", 160-pound kicker. Guess where he went to school? Right here at Cocoa High School. We play NFL rules, 15 minutes on the clock. Gonzalez getting set to put toe to leather And we are underway for the 2020 Space Coast Tar Heels home season. And it's a okay kick by Gonzalez. It'll be fielded at the 5, out to the 15, 20, cut back, gets across the 22, 23, stopped at about the 23-yard line. And that's where the Chiefs will take over for the Miami Chiefs, who get a victory last week in week 1. And the trash talking has begun. And that's the thing I love most about minor league football is indeed the trash talking. If you look at these rosters, 22 players on the Tar Heel roster have ties to play in Brevard County High School football. Looks like the quarterback for the Chiefs is going to be number 1. That's Brandon Snell. He's out of Miami, Florida, 6 foot, 195-pound quarterback. Snell attended Langston University from the shotgun. He's got a back behind him, split equally to both sides. The give is to his running back, and the Tar Heels defense is equal to the task. And in on the tackle is number 9 for Space Coast. That's Dwayne Jackson, the 6 foot, 230-pound linebacker for the Rockledge Raiders, former Rockledge Raider. I'd like to welcome in Tay Hickson, watching here tonight on 321 SPORTSCAST. No score here between the Chiefs and the Tar Heels. 14-18 to go, first quarter. The Can-Am Roofing scoreboard located in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. It's going to be second at about 9.5 for Snell in his offense. He's got a wide receiver split wide to his right, 2 to his left. Actually, make that 3 with a man tied in close to the slot. Snell turns. That ball's on the ground. And the Tar Heels claim they have it, and they do. And the Space Coast Tar Heels have created a turnover nearly inside of the Broomhilde red zone. And they'll take over 1st and 10. The ball on about the 23 or 24-yard line. Not sure who created that turnover. Ball put on the ground. Number 55 recovered the fumble. Devontae Jones out of Titusville, Florida, went to Cocoa High School. Again, that's going to be a recurring theme tonight. All right, Matt Parsons takes over at quarterback for Space Coast. The offense consists of number 1, Jalen Ben, number 2, Jimmy Kelly, number 3, Jordan Mullins, number 7, Cam Stroud, number 14, Josh Rodriguez, number 16, Matt Parsons, number 22, Raekwon Johnson. Now, obviously that's more than 11, so they shift in and out, but these are your primary players. We'll give you the big guys up front. That'll block for Parsons as he gets back in the shotgun with a man to his left and a man to his right. 1 wide receiver split wide right. Parsons looks for the ball, asks for it, gets it, gives off, and that ball is put on the ground, but it'll be recovered by Space Coast. The big guys up front, number 50, David Gray-Taylor out of Palm Bay, Roger Lewis out of Titusville, Kyle Kane out of Heritage, Alvin Sims, who went to Ohio State University, and Steven Snell, who went to Bethel. Got a penalty against Space Coast here. I didn't see the call, Caleb. Did you? Holding. Caught a hold there. So that's going to back Space Coast up. 13:44 to go here just underway at Richard Dick Blake Stadium on the campus of Cocoa High School. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. The man behind the camera tonight is Caleb Brown. So if you've got anything that's to complain about, complain to him. Matt Parsons trying to convert, I call it pot, Caleb. What's pot? Points off turnovers. Parsons back to throw. He's got a receiver across the middle. That's Jimmy Kelly. They're going to call it incomplete. They don't have instant replay. They could if they asked. But not a part of the FFA rule book yet. Hopefully Caleb, 321 SPORTSCAST, can do a bang-up job, and they'll point up to the booth and ask us. Looked like a complete pass to me. And yes, Miami Chiefs fans, there will be a little bit of homerism in the call tonight. I try to keep it partial. I'll give you the big call for the touchdown should one come your way. Parsons is looking at 2nd and 15, drops back to throw in the pocket. He's got a receiver wide open at the 10. Good looking catch, pitch and catch from Parsons to his receiver that I think was Joshua Rodriguez, the 5'7" wide receiver that attended Astronaut High School. And now, indeed, the Space Coast Tar Heels are inside of the Broom-Hildy red zone. 1st and 10, ball on the 11, so they can still get a first down. In motion is the aforementioned Rodriguez. The give is to the lone back in the backfield. But that Miami Chiefs defense tightening up now that it's in the red zone. Carry by Jalen Ben. Number 33 for Miami on the tackle. I don't have a 33. Wouldn't that stand to reason? Right, exactly. 12:23, clock moving, 2nd and 14. No problem for Parsons on the last 2nd and long as he completed a 20-yard pass to Rodriguez. From the shotgun, man in motion, play action. He throws a little back shoulder fade. Great play made by the Chiefs defensive back over there to knock that up. One-on-one coverage. The intended wide receiver was number 3, Jordan Mullins, out of the backfield. 6'3", 170-pound Merritt Island grad. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 14. That was the atypical back shoulder fade there. Just didn't get enough on it. Yeah, it's all right, Caleb. You're 23 years old. If you can't see the numbers, I damn sure know I'm not going to see them. Parsons back in the shotgun again. That's where he's been. Hard count. He'll pick up 5. We'll see what the white hat has to say. Were they drawn or did they jump? Offsides. That'll push it up 5 yards. So that'll make it 3rd down and 10 for Space Coast. 3rd year of existence for the Tar Heels. They won 9 games last year. Hammered pretty good in the playoffs by the West Coast Soldiers. Parsons from the shotgun. Jalen Ben to his right. 2 wide receivers split equally to the left and the right. Parsons changes the play at the line of scrimmage. 11:48 to go, first quarter. Parsons takes the snap, gives the Ben draw play. Great play. Cuts back. Does he have enough for the first down? We'll see where the ball is spotted. He's going to be close. Great call by offensive coordinator Steve Rodriguez. Speaking of which, the offensive coordinator is Steve Rodriguez. Defensive coordinator David Dye. And the head coach is Mark Lucas. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1, and why not at home? And actually, as much as I want to give credit to Rodriguez, Parsons audible that at the line of scrimmage. Gently, Caleb. Gently there, buddy. The Chiefs are going to take a timeout. So, while the Chiefs take a timeout on the field, let me take a moment to tell you about those that help make 321 Sportscast what it is today. Sunset View Windows and Doors, a veteran and family-owned and operated business, and is Brevard's premier window and door company. 321-257-4422. Gentle Dental Associates, providing quality dental care you can trust with stunning results. Schedule your appointment at 321-242-3300 or gentledentalonline.com. I'd also like to welcome Carlson's Trophy Shop, supporting Space Coast athletes since 1973. Welcome, Carlson's Custom Tees, to the 321 family. That must be an old ride resheet. They've been with us for about 4 months now. But welcome anyway. 11:10 to go here, first quarter. Tar Heels trying to convert a Miami Chiefs fumble into points. Points off turnovers. Critical in football. Parsons and the offense going to go for it on 4th and short. Parsons, tall quarterback, 6'6". He's got 2 backs in the backfield. Just 1 wide receiver. It is the big formation to give right up the middle. Looks like it's enough. It should be enough for a first down. It was given to Raekwon Johnson, the 5'10", 230-pound back who went to McGavick High School. And the referee looking. How about a measurement if it's that close? Thanks all of you watching here tonight on 321 Sportscast. Just to tell you a little bit about us, we launched in May. I've been covering sports for about 15 years. Did so for another news outlet here in the county for 4 years before joining up with Tracy Rayum to start 321 Sportscast. Everything you see is done with digital devices. We don't have big, powerful HD cameras. We use a handheld digital device as cameras and bring you all of the action. Why does that look blurry? I'll tell you why, because here's what we need to do. That's a first down for the Tar Heels on the measurement. So now to be first down and goal for Space Coast. 10:58 to go, first quarter. Tar Heels looking for points again, critical, especially coming off of a 43-6 drubbing that they were handed last week. You want to get your first home win of the year, and it would be key to turn that fumble from Miami into 6. They'll take 3 if they have to, but you got to know that Mark Lucas and company want 6. Give straight up the middle. That Miami defense is tough. Raekwon Johnson, again, all 230 pounds of him, trying to penetrate that front 7. Will not happen. That's going to bring up second. We got a man down. We're semi-pro. It's okay. Nope, I get you. Generally, Caleb, the cameraman, our policy is in youth and prep sports, which is what we cover the majority of the time. We do not keep the camera on high school injuries, but because we don't like to speculate and freak people out, but because we don't know. We're not doctors. We're barely broadcasters. So, right. So, but not sure who the player is that's down. Why don't we do this, though? Why don't we step away and let's hear from Urban Air. We'll be back after these words from Urban Air and maybe Buffalo Wild Wings. No score, 10:26 to play, first quarter.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge, it's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Okay, I primarily handle personal injury, which mainly car crashes, motorcycle crashes, things of that, even slip and falls. People have to understand that people get hurt, people get injured. You're okay with pressing a claim and filing a claim to get your property damage taken care of, but your physical, your body, that herniated disc, you don't want to file a claim for that. You don't want to be compensated for your medical bills and things like that. So I do that. I've been in the community. I was a paralegal for 11 years. I've been an attorney for going on 6 years now. So about 17 years, 18 years of experience in this area. I've been in Melbourne since I was 7. I went to Harbor City Elementary, Stone Junior High, Palm Bay High, and I've been here ever since. I'm a veteran. I served in Iraq in 2004 with the Navy Seabees. So, yeah, I've been around here for a long time, man.
All right. Welcome back to Richard Dick Blake Stadium on the campus of Cocoa High School. The injured player is an offensive lineman. He is up and being helped off the field. We'll tell you who he is here in just a second. And get any injury updates at the half. You're looking at highlights from the Tar Heels' successful second season campaign last year, in which they won 9 games last year. And a lot of those players you see on your screen there back this year with owner Roger Lewis, head coach Mark Lucas, defensive coordinator David Dye, and offensive coordinator Coach Rodriguez and Steve Rodriguez. And it was a lot of fun last year. Didn't know what to expect with the Space Coast Tar Heels last year, but I got to tell you, we certainly had a lot of fun broadcasting and are glad that Roger and 321 Sportscast were able to work out a contractual agreement to broadcast his third season. Very excited to have Broomhilde on board for Space Coast Tarheels Football this year. If you are interested in sponsoring one of these broadcasts or a youth broadcast, email us at 321sportscast@gmail.com. And the injured offensive lineman is number 70, Steven Shell. And Shell is over at the bench, and we are set for action here as Space Coast is in the huddle. The Chiefs are back on the field. And, you know, when you get into piles like that, Caleb, knees start turning, ankles start turning, things start getting stepped on that aren't supposed to have a cleat on them, and all kinds of havoc can be wreaked on body parts. So we'll keep you updated on the condition of Steven Shell. 10:26 to play, opening quarter, no score between the Tar Heels and the Chiefs tonight here on 321 Sportscast. Saturday night football. Wonder if anybody got an opportunity. And comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Do you play for another team in the league? You know, tell us about yourself. We had a lot of fun last year at the end of the season as other teams began to watch the broadcast, trying to get film on whoever the Tar Heels were playing or the Tar Heels themselves. And we used to have a lot of fun, a lot of banter going back and forth. We are an interactive broadcast. Not perfect. We make mistakes. Correct us if we do. Clock is running. 10 minutes to go. First quarter, 2nd and goal. Parsons back in the shotgun again. He's got Ben next to him on his right. Man in motion. The give is to the man in motion. It's the end around. Can he get in? And he does. And in for a Space Coast touchdown is Cam Stroud. Cam Stroud scores the first Tar Heels touchdown. Not yet. Scores the first Tar Heels touchdown at home this season. Stroud had plenty of them last year. 6 foot, 168-pound wide receiver out of Agape. Lives over in Orlando. And the Tar Heels, pending the extra point, lead at 6-0. That was about the longest 6-play drive you're going to see from the 23-yard line. What's that? Dick Flacco, this beats the hell out of watching on. Excuse me. Flacco. Getting set to try the extra point is Eddie Gonzalez, and we've got a flag. An illegal substitution on the Tar Heels. That's going to back them up 5. So Gonzalez's 31-yard extra point now turns into 36 yards. Now, kicking game struggled last year for the Tar Heels. In fact, in that game over in Orlando, which we made the trip over, a couple of kicks missed in that one, and that's a different outcome for Space Coast last year. But Gonzalez, we'll see here. He is a left-footed kicker. Snap, the hold, the kick is no good. So the extra point can be, I think it can be returned. But anyway, so let's get the scoreboard updated there, Caleb, as the Tar Heels lead at 6-0 on a Cam Stroud 2-yard touchdown run. 6 plays, 23 yards. They do indeed get the 6 points off of the turnover, but fail to convert the extra point. The Miami Chiefs now will get an opportunity to see their offense. It was pretty high-powered last week, scoring points over the top on kickoff returns. If that was the right highlights I was seeing. I'd like to welcome in Art Mobile Detailing.
Meanwhile, over at the concession stand, we have hot dogs, chili dogs, cheeseburgers, fries.
Got an opportunity before the game, and I don't know if anybody watching here tonight is familiar. For those of you that aren't familiar, but this is like watching the Rockledge Raiders and Cocoa Tigers face off against Miami Carroll City. Because you look at the roster for the Chiefs, Miami, Carroll City, Miami, Carroll City, North Miami Beach. But I will tell you this, a good deal amount of the Chiefs roster is loaded with players that have significant college experience. So we'll see how that all plays out coming up. Much better kick this time by George, and the kick is taken. An opportunity, and to the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown for the Miami Chiefs, and that is Tavels Smith Jr. with a house call. And just like that, the Chiefs have tied it up. Second consecutive week the Chiefs have scored on a kickoff return. And Tavels Smith Jr., 5'7", 160-pound wide receiver out of Miami Norland Senior, takes it back 90 yards for a Chiefs touchdown. So I guess we won't see the offense.
So, Mr. Quarterback, sit on the bench. I got this.
Yeah, right? Wow. I mean, I went to grab a drink at the Diet Coke, looked up, and there was Smith Jr. gone. Thank goodness for LaTwain Hadley, the PA guy, because I heard him say, and he's gone. So it looks as though they're going to go for 2, obviously.
All right. And the Chiefs to try for the point after.
So Brandon Snell, the quarterback, he's got 3, a bunch to his right. That's number 3, Dondre Stringer in the backfield with him, one man in motion. That is started early. While the conversion will be good, the flag will be on Miami. Looked like a Canadian Football League start there. And that's 6-6. We'll back them up and they'll try for 2 more. I do like the fact that, I like the fact that they go for 2. Look, I think it's a lot these days. Sometimes it should be automatic, but NFL kickers are kicking extra points. I think it's like 79, 80% now is what it is. So, there's a formula to that. I get it in terms of points, but look, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs or the Baltimore Ravens and you've got guys like Jackson and Mahomes or telling I'm going for 2 every time. It's probably why I'm in the broadcast booth and not coaching. Back to throw, left-handed throws. That has just out of the outstretched hands. He got enough on it and got it over 2 Space Coast defenders. You know what? He threw that off of 1 foot, and that ball was a bullet in the back of the end zone. I'm excited to see him play a little bit more as long as they don't run any more kicks back. All right, so the score is 6-6 here. First quarter fireworks for the Chiefs. Space Coast Tar Heels slow playing it. Either way you slice the pie, the score is 6-6 with 9:31 to play in the first quarter as Miami gets set to kick off here. I'm Alan Slaughterzinski with my partner Caleb Brown. There you go. Down a little more. There you go, buddy. Now you're talking.
You have to retreat to the designated smoke area.
And set to kick off from the 35 will be the Chiefs. 3 guys back deep for Space Coast. Good crowd on hand tonight. You can't see it, but it's a capacity crowd on one hand. About 18,000 people here. And there's the kick. No, I'm kidding. But it is a good crowd. But you probably knew that. Taken at the 30, out to the 35, 40, and finally brought down.
Number 23 of the Chiefs.
Tackle made by Johnny D, 6'2", 215-pound out of Norland High.
Everywhere tonight.
And that was a pretty hard hit, but a good return. Didn't get the number on the returner. As
Gonna bring up first down.
Matt Parsons checks back in, and now the Tar Heels will take over 1st and 10 with the ball on the 40. Dead on the 49, 21 to play, first quarter. 6-6 to score. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the Can-Am Roofing scoreboard. Good to see Coach Ryan Schneider here tonight, head coach of the Cocoa Tigers. They made it all the way to the state semifinals this year, losing to Bowles. I won't say anything about the tight end that was 10 yards downfield on the fake punt. 1st and 10. Stroud in motion. Give is to the lone back up the middle. He picks up 4, maybe 5. Oh, the ball's on the ground. That's a fumble, and Miami has recovered it from what I see, and they do. And coming up with the fumble was the littlest guy on the field. That's number 10, Travis Smith out of Opelika, Florida, and Bethel University. And Miami will take over 1st and 10 with the ball on the 42-yard line. Wow. Rick Rivers is wearing 33 tonight. If you are asking about Rick, he changed his uniform number. 3 uniform changes for the Tar Heels. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I check the comments about once every 3 minutes. So the Chiefs come out, and we get an opportunity to really get a good look at Brandon Snell, the quarterback. He's got 3 wide receivers split to his left, 1 to his right, lone back in the backfield. Left-hander, southpaw. Boy, he lets one go. Oh, nearly had it.
Number 33 for the Tar Heels came in the last.
What a good play there by, I believe, that's Rick Rivers back there. That is Rick Rivers on the coverage.
2nd and 10.
So Rick Rivers, the aforementioned Rick Rivers on the defense there, wearing 33 tonight. That's a good-looking ball, too. One-on-one coverage. Rivers turn at the right time, avoiding the pass interference. Looked good. Good play all the way around. Good throw. Nearly had the deflection for a catch as well. 2nd and 10, ball on the 42. The turn gives to the lone back, and he is immediately greeted at the line of scrimmage by number 91. And that's Cayman Johnson, who was wearing 94, now wearing 91. So Cayman Johnson on the tackle.
Loss of 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
Sorry, starting to get a little chippy.
Well, and that's the thing I think that's important to let everybody know. You'll see pushing and shoving. Occasionally somebody try to knock somebody out. I mean, it's not uncommon in minor league or semi-pro football. These guys work all week long. They have families to support. This is their release. Sometimes it does get a little chippy and over-energetic out there, and referees generally do a good job of controlling the tempo of flow and penalty of the game, so we'll see. But I like a good rivalry.
Chiefs come out in the spread set.
So it's 3rd down and about 11 now for the Chiefs, who will have 2 wide receivers, each split left and right, 1 back in the backfield. And we've got whistles and a timeout by the Chiefs as there is some offensive confusion. Got to get up a little bit more, bud. No. Like that. There you go. You don't want to put the scoreboard on the top of the helmets. So you want to stay like right there. That's about the gap you want at the top of the scoreboard. 6-6, 7:35 to play, first quarter. And once again, I'd like to thank Broomhilde for their sponsorship tonight and all season here on 321 SPORTSCAST for Space Coast Tarheels Football. Broomhilde is a full-service cleaning company specializing in home, office, schools, large businesses, carpet, tile, grout, professional window. Clean the windows, too. Soft commercial and residential cleaning. They are one company that can handle all of your cleaning needs. You can call them today. In fact, you need 4 rooms of carpet done, just $59. What about tile and grout? We are in Florida, $139. 321-593-0779. As the Miami Chiefs come back out on the field, big play here for this Tar Heel defense. We'll see what David Dye dials up. You say it 3 times. I'd like to say congratulations to Coach Dye, who is now also the new defensive coordinator for the Palm Bay Pirates down there with what will be second-year head coach Dwayne Bird. 3rd and 11, 7:35 to play first quarter. And that, well, it should have been a flag. You can help him up now, but we've got flags everywhere on the field. That would be a flag in the NFL. See what the call will be here, whether offsides or a false start. Generally, when you see that many people converging up the center like that, either the quarterback gave a real good hard count or the center nudged the ball just so to catch the defense. And a lot of times the referee doesn't see that. You know, it's funny because I played youth football, and as a center, they teach you little tricks on when you put your hand on the ball and ways to move it where the defense, yeah, it's crazy, I know. As the great, classy Freddie Blassie used to say, unless you're the Houston Astros, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat, McMahon. 3rd down and 5. Back to drop. He throws wide open across the middle. He's down to the 10, 5 down. And here comes a flag flying in extremely late. But what a pitch and catch from Schnell to, I believe, that was Quanis Horn, the 6'1". That guy's taller than 6'1". Number 8. I thought so. That's Raymond Alec. That says 6 foot. See what the call is here. And that's going to go against the Tar Heels. That's a personal foul. So they'll tack on half the distance there. And what a play. Nice little pitch and catch from Brandon Snell. Brandon Snell to number 8, Raymond Alec, the 6 foot, 170-pound wide receiver from Pace High School. And right now, the Miami Chiefs are knocking on the door inside of the Broomhilde of Brevard red zone with a first down. Ball is right at the 10. Boy, you want to talk about a thorn in an offensive side. 1st and goal from the 10 is certainly that. We still green? All right. Okay. 7:07 to play at this. They're going to pick the flag up.
And the flag is being waved off.
So the flag is picked up, but regardless, it's still a great play by the Chiefs offense to get down. 1st and goal to go from the 10.
Here we go.
Snell
Chiefs out in the spread set.
spread it out. And I mean, they are spread out. Slot guy in motion. Snell gives to the running back. Up the middle, he'll pick up 3.
And he may have got 1 yard on the play.
So that'll bring up 2nd and goal to go from about the 8, maybe the 7 if he's lucky. 6-6 on the Can-Am Roofing scoreboard in the upper right-hand corner. I'd like to welcome in the lovely Gina Liberto watching here tonight on 321 SPORTSCAST. Spread out one more time. We'll see if the man goes in motion. Snell barks out the signals, wants the ball, asks for it, gets it, gives back. He keeps it this time himself. That's a nice hit there. And getting up saying, no, no, no. Looked like number 90. I'm going to say that was John Bryant. So that's going to bring up third down. And we said this before on the last drive, 5:35. Finally, we've got 2 minutes of continuous clock here. At this pace, we'll need to replace the cell phone. Good game. Slow moving, but you generally get that early in seasons with whatever level of football. Snell back to pass. He throws wide open, and that time Snell will put his hands over his ear hole as well as he should. He had a wide receiver wide open. Eyes got big and simply overthrew him. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Do they go for 3 or do they try to convert 4th and 7? Yeah, that is a good deal on the carpet cleaning. $59. Tiling grout, 4 rooms for $139 too. They're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 7. Snell wants it back. He takes the snap, throws. He's got a man. No flag. Turnover on downs. The Tar Heels defense tightens up and will take over. Clock still running for some reason. Now it stops at 4:57, and the Space Coast Tar Heels defense comes up with a 7-yard goal line stand. Not really a goal line stand, but, you know, when you get down there inside of the 10 and it's 1st and goal to go, everything shortens up. So, but in all fairness, there was a blown coverage. He had a wide open wide receiver he missed, and I'm sure when he goes back and watches that 4th down play, he's going to notice he had the slot guy wide open across the middle too. So, but these are all things you learn early in seasons, and films help. As Matt Parsons at quarterback, they show blitz, they bring blitz. Great looking read there by Parsons as he finds his favorite target, Jimmy Kelly. Kelly and Parsons saw the blitz coming. Parsons picked up the hot read, and it was Kelly, and he hit it nicely for a gain of 7. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Dick. Yeah, slot was wide open. Dick Flacco, great observation there. We got to let the kicker try, live and die. Yeah, no, I think you got to take points there because, you know, who knows how valuable those 3 points will be later in the game. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 3 now. Blitzing again, this time, little quick throw out to the left to Cam Stroud. Stroud gets to the outside. He'll have enough for a Tar Heel 1st down and about 5 yards more. So with 4 minutes to go, scores tied up at 6. Tar Heels move the chains. 1st and 10 as Parsons has hit back-to-back quick passes on consecutive blitzes by the Chiefs. I like the aggressive style of the defensive call. Little sugar huddle there. Not quite a huddle. I call it a sugar huddle. I'm showing my age. I apologize. Parsons will take about 5 steps back. Parsons 6'6". He's a tall one. 2 3-step drop. He's got a man wide open across the middle. It's Cam Stroud. Stroud's out to the 40, 42 before he steps out of bounds. No flags, and another Space Coast Tar Heel 1st down. And right now, Stroud and Parson have hit 2 in a row. In that one, a zone defense. Stroud just kind of tucks himself in the middle of it. Parson patiently waits and hits him wide open. They're playing man on the outside, a little bit of zone in the middle. 1st and 10, ball on the 42, 43-yard line. Parsons again with that quick huddle. He's got 3 wide receivers now split to his left, 1 to his right. The man in motion is Stroud. Play action to Stroud. Throws. He actually had his receiver, Rodriguez, Joshua Rodriguez. Either Rodriguez turned the wrong way or Parsons threw in the wrong area. Either way, that play was open. But with 2:28 to play here, it'll be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Space Coast. 6-6. Steve Rodriguez gets the play in. Tar Heels are led by head coach Mark Lucas with Steve Rodriguez, the OC, and David Dye, the DC. Parsons now calling the play at the line of scrimmage. They show blitz back up on it now. Rush 4. That's a handoff that will go absolutely nowhere. In fact, it does go somewhere about 8 yards backwards as coming in, Britton Hall, the 6'5", 210-pound Homestead Senior High grad out of Davie, Florida, single-handedly takes down the ball carrier for a loss of what now is 12. Then that's going to bring up 3rd and 22 for the Tar Heels. 1:55 to play first quarter.
For the Tar Heels.
So what do you have in the playbook for 3rd and 22, Steve Rodriguez? Trips to the left, one wide receiver to the right. Parsons, obviously a passing situation. He throws a man across the middle. Jimmy Kelly cuts back again. He gets back the yards lost +2, but it'll bring up 4th and 8. And this is a obvious punting situation. We've got a man down. Why don't we do this? We got a player down. We're going to step aside. I'll let Caleb let you know who we're going to hear from. Your score, 6-6, 1:23 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back after these words from some of our sponsors.
Stuff is not valuable anymore. People more and more are gravitating to the experiences they can share together, experiences they can share as a family, and we provide them with that. And so we take it very seriously that, hey, we're being entrusted with somebody's birthday party. We're creating memories.
Let's do it. All right, welcome back to Richard Dick Blake Stadium on the campus of the 4-time state champion Cocoa Tigers. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski with Caleb Brown. Space Coast Tar Heels and Miami Chiefs locked up at 6 apiece here as Roger Lewis limps off the field. It's not a good sign when your owner's limping because you want your paycheck. No, I'm joking. Roger is Roger's a tough guy. He'll be back. Fourth down, and we'll see. Parsons now last year on this situation. Parsons is also turns into Doug Flutie here, if you will. And I know I'm going back, but Flutie used to do the drop kick every once in a while. We'll see if it happens here, or they go for it, and they're going for it. Blindside, great pressure, throw. Did he catch it? No, incomplete as pressure was applied from the backside by number 6. Well, that was Quinn-Anthony Fletcher out of Dr. Michael Kropp, who really disrupted that. 39 seconds to play here in the first half. 6-6 between these two schools. We're talking about the Cocoa Tigers, and I'm going to get a little hyper-local here for just a minute if I can. I had 2 D1 guys go off and early enroll, and guys that you're going to hear a lot out of in the next couple of years. Of course, Cocoa Tigers, a lot to be proud of. Go back to last year's NFL draft. Chauncey Gardner, okay? Chauncey Gardner named the Saints Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jawan Taylor played here, right? He was named Pro Football Focus First Team Offensive Lineman for rookies, right? And, oh, yes, let's not forget about Jamel Dean with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, all of those guys drafted in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft last year. And, of course, the Tigers did Brevard County proud. But keep your ears open in the next couple of years for Keziah Holmes and Richie Leonard. because I'd be willing to bet that those two will also be up for Pro Football Focus's offensive players, rookies of the year, when they get there. 1st and 10 after the, oh my goodness gracious, and down the left sideline, cutting it back is number 3. That is Dondre Stringer, 5'7", 195-pound back out of Hollywood, Florida, who picks up 26 yards. That's enough for 2.5 first downs. So that'll be 1st and 10 now. Ball will be at about the 29-yard line. What a run. They're fast. Absolutely fast. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. The score, Space Coast 6 and Miami 6. But back to Keziah Holmes and Richie Leonard. Leonard goes off to Florida as an early enrollee. Keziah Holmes up at Penn State. And, of course, I'll give you one that's not from Cocoa, but keep your eyes on the man, 10, Ladarius Tennyson, who's at Auburn right now. So, Brevard County, look, I get it. And, South Florida football makes us super proud as a state because inevitably every year, no other state has more players drafted into the NFL. No other state has more players that have played in. I mean, this year, I can't remember what the exact number was, but what state had the most players in the Super Bowl? Florida. Every year. And Miami sets the bar for that. They always do. They always have. For years, Coco and Booker T battled it out. Booker T beat them 5 straight years before Coco finally was able to beat them. Bruce Judson finally figured out the Booker T Tornadoes and went on to win a state championship that year against Bowles. But my point is Brevard County, for its size, 17 high schools that play football, we don't do half bad producing some really good talent here. So it's 1st and 10. We'll flip sides. Ball on the 29. Give is up the middle and another big hole. Let me take you back to last year, as that'll be a gain of 11 and likely another Chiefs first down. If it is 11, well, actually he's going to call it 9. So it'll be 2nd and 1. This was an area of concern for Space Coast last year. Late in the season, they gave up a lot of big runs straight up the middle of the field. And right now, the Chiefs are taking advantage of what wasn't fixed. 2nd and 1 now. Good jump. Good jump off the line of scrimmage there. As Sylvester Eaton gets in there and eats up the quarterback, Brandon Snell. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3, maybe 4. Quick huddle for the Chiefs, who do huddle up. That's offsides. Come on, guys. And they were not drawn. That's 5 yards. It'll be more than enough for a Miami Chiefs first down. We got the Hall of Famer on the broadcast throwing up advice now. Tyrone Giscom's in the house. Give me the other one. Thank you. Tyrone Giscom, the new defensive coordinator for the Melbourne Bulldogs. So 13-28. I don't think that's the problem, Tyrone, to be quite honest with you. I think they're getting out-muscled up front. Initial push. There you see it there. It's the second offsides. I think they feel it too as they get pushed backwards. So that's 1st and 10 now. Another back shoulder fade. Picked off. That is an interception in the end zone by the Tar Heels. Bringing it out across the 20 to the 25. Still on his feet is Rick Rivers. And Rick Rivers gets the ball all the way out to the 37-yard line. Rick Rivers. So Rick Rivers making his presence felt, I believe. Yeah, if it was 33, that was Rick Rivers. And it was. So Rick Rivers, how many times do you want me to say the name, Alan? So Rivers changed up his jersey number.
Nice defensive play by Rivers.
Rivers, of course, right here out of Cocoa High School. That's my baby, says Miss Rivers. 12:30 to go here, first half. 6-6 the score. Again, pot. What's pot, Caleb? Points off turnovers. Can the Tar Heels convert the pick in the end zone? That's a huge pick. Matt Parsons straight up the middle to Snell, and Snell, I'll check that, Jalen Ben out of Liberty High.
4 yards on the play.
12 minutes, clock's moving. So that's a good 4-yard pickup. 4 times 3 is 12. That's what an offensive coordinator told me this year. He said, I'll take 4 yards every down. 4 times 3 is 12. Thanks for the math, coach. 2nd and 6, 11:40 to play. Matt Parsons, all 6'6" of him in the backfield in the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield with him. The give is to the back to his right, straight up the middle. That will maybe be another 4 yards, and it will be. The far side official marks the ball, walks in with his hand up, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. So a big conversion attempt here. We saw the Tar Heels the last time. So if you believe what they did on the last offensive series, then this is 2-down territory. Because I haven't seen one of these teams put a foot on a ball tonight other than to kick off and try an extra point. So I'm not anticipating a punt. So this is 2-down territory at 3rd down and 2. Parsons from the shotgun. Cam Stroud in motion. Parsons, good run there. And that should be about a yard or 2 more necessary for the first down, and that's a good run. Give it to the big guy that time. The big guy is number 22. That's Raekwon Johnson out of McGavick High School, lives here in Rockledge, Florida. Please comment. Let us know where you're watching from here tonight on 321 Sportscast. 1st and 10 now. Parsons, little play action. He's got a receiver short. Now, that's Larry Torchy on the call. On the coverage, the intended wide receiver was Jordan Mullins. On the coverage was number 6.
Pass was intended for number 3.
Well, Anthony Fletcher, I believe. You had a linebacker out there. Where did he come from? Number 3, running back. So you had a linebacker on a running back on that one, and the linebacker ends up winning the battle. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 10:04 to go. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. We play NFL rules. Parsons, nice little counter inside. Good play. Little quick counter from the shotgun to Jalen Ben. Ben out of Liberty High, Altamont Springs is his hometown. 5'6", 180-pound back. I thought he got more than that, but it's 3rd and 7.
Good shoestring tackle by number 23, because if he doesn't make it, there's a lot of room there.
Caleb with a good observation is Johnny D, the 6'2", 215-pound defensive back, comes up and makes a shoestring tackle on Ben. And watching in Cairo, Egypt. Well, Torrance Brown, thank you for making 321 Sportscast an international broadcast tonight. Say hello to King Tut. Parsons back to pass. That ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 7. That was a good hustle play by number 7 for Miami. That is Everett Williams. He's out of Arkansas Baptist College. So that's going to bring up 4th and 7, and I don't see nearly a punter coming onto the field unless Parsons is going to take care of that. Thanks once again Torrance Brown for tuning in from Cairo, Egypt. So with 9:12 remaining, we've got a timeout on the field. Nah, we're okay. Here, pop these up. Just let's thank some of our other sponsors. Jenna Pizza, the best New York-style pizza in Brevard County. There you see the number on the screen. Call and order yours today. Space Coast United, Brevard's premier soccer league, partnering with Brevard's premier sports network. Five Guys, burgers and fries. And, of course, Sunset View windows and doors. And I tell you, it is just great to have sponsors that care deeply for youth sports in Brevard County. All right, let me get this off the screen because we're back to action already. Quick timeout taken by the Tar Heels. Parsons, no intentions of punting it, or maybe he quick kicks it. I don't know. We'll see. Parsons from the shotgun. Look how much taller he is than his back to his left. Jalen Ben. So Parsons is going to throw a little nice screen pass. A chance for Ben. He's got the first down and more. What a great play call by Steve Rodriguez. Just a quick screen up the middle. Parsons with the patience. Ben turns, converts it. Picks up 14 yards, and that is more than enough for a Tar Heel first down. 8:51 to play here in the first half. And that could give the Tar Heels a little bit of momentum as they convert their first, or actually second, fourth down. They scored on 4th and goal. So it's 1st and 10 now, ball on, I almost said the Kansas City, the Miami 40-yard line. And this time, a little upset about the fact he got burned on the screen pass. Ben is drilled by Corey Jones, or I'm sorry, Lazaro Cortez. It's either Cortez or Jones. One's from NMB Senior High, the other from Miami Carroll City. 2 zeros listed on the roster. Either way, great defensive play there for a loss of 2. Yes, Dick Flacco says, looks like this is going to be a game. Yeah, I hope so. I hate calling blowouts one way or another. Even if it's the home team, they're just no fun. 7:50 to go. First half, 6-6 is the score. As Dick Flacco alludes to, it looks like we are going to indeed have us a game tonight. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, but Space Coast had 6 points at the half last week and gave up 35 in the second half. We got a delay of game penalty coming now, and that's going to back up Space Coast 5 more. Look, I get that those flags are going to happen, but that's just a bad situation for it to happen because now it's going to be 2nd and 17 here on 321 SPORTSCAST for the Space Coast Tar Heels. 7:29 to go, first half. Now, coming up at halftime, we're going to show you an interview I did yesterday with Roger Lewis. We promote tonight's game, obviously. We're here, so you have to ignore that portion of the interview. But we talk a lot about the Space Coast Tar Heels, and we also discuss the team as well. So Parsons drops back to throw. He had a Cam Stroud wide open. There you see Stroud with his hand in the air. But in Parsons' defense, he had to hurry and get rid of that one. But, Stroud was definitely open. That's going to bring up and this is 2-down territory here. So as a former quarterback myself, I want to go for the home run here. But what I'm thinking is that if I know this is 2-down territory, my mind is telling me right now, I'm programming myself, get half of this. At least get half of this. We'll see what the Tar Heels do. Now, if something breaks downfield, you hit it. But you at least want half of this here if you're going to try to convert another 4th down. Parsons backs up, throws. That nearly picked off as that ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. I got to tell you, Parsons is 6'6". When he gets his arm in the air, you're talking about 6'9", maybe 6'10". And somebody on that defensive front has got a hell of a vertical to be knocking that thing or getting a hand on that. And this time, are we actually going to punt? Now, see, I like this, though. I do like this. And the reason I like this is because 7:07, They have moved the ball against you, save for the pick in the end zone. Here's an opportunity to flip the field. You need a good punt, and you definitely want to keep it away from the guy that ran one back 90 yards on you. So you need to coffin corner this thing somehow. Yeah, but you still want to try to flip the field out of this. And putting them at, if he shanks it, putting them at the 30-35 isn't really flipping the field. He kicked it. Oh, my goodness, it's blocked. It's blocked. And that's going to be a Miami Chiefs touchdown. I don't know that it was blocked so much that he kicked it off the back of his blocker. That was absolutely amazing.
I don't think that was a block kick. I think it hit one of his own players.
Who did that?
Have a flag down at the
We've got 2 flags down.
let's see what this is all about.
But what a play by the Miami Chiefs special teams. Fooled the cameraman. He was looking for the punt down the field. That ball was kicked into the back of the blocker there, the last line of defense. And the Chiefs special teams player simply picked it off the guy's back and ran it back for a touchdown. It was a 45-yard touchdown return. I got to get the number. Offsetting unsportsman's? I think excessive celebration on Miami and unsportsmanlike on Space Coast is what the call will be. So that'll offset. That's an amazing play. Special teams strikes again. Yes, it does. Both scores tonight, courtesy of the Miami Chiefs special teams, a 90-yard kickoff return and a block punt touchdown. I don't even know what the hell to call that. I mean, what is that? That's a block punt. That is awesome. I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, it's just a weird play. Special teams. Right. So that's what Dick Flacco said. Special teams strikes again. Yeah. All right, so they're going to go for 2 here. The ball, after the penalties, is going to be placed at 10, and Brandon Snell wants to know what the deal is here. Why do you keep backing this up? And maybe that's why you don't punt, right? I mean, that's why. I mean, we haven't seen them punt. Yep, good boy. Thanks, man. So they're going to go for 2 here. It's 12-6. We'll get the scoreboard updated here after the conversion attempt here. But another special teams touchdown for the Miami Chiefs, and back to pass blitz. Quarterback's in trouble. He throws. He's got a receiver, but he's going to be short. That was a nice catch. But I believe that was Dwayne Jackson there, if I'm not mistaken. But with 6:55 to go, the second special teams touchdown of the game for the visitors in orange from Miami, and they lead Space Coast 12-6. New Money Gang side said, Carroll City, stand up. If anybody knows who that player was that scored that touchdown, I apologize. I just did not catch a number. I'm lucky I noticed he picked it off the guy's back and ran it back. That was just crazy. Botched. Yeah, I'll say, Andy. I'll say it was botched. 12-6 now is the score here from Richard Dick Blake Stadium on the campus of Cocoa High School. Nothing to get down about. Look, if you're Space Coast, you got to go back to that intermediate passing game again. Cam Stroud and Jimmy Kelly were finding some stuff open in the middle of that defense. And back deep for Space Coast. That's a bad kickoff. It'll be fielded, maybe. He's going the wrong way. Now he turns and runs and brought down at the 25. I believe that's number 35 for Space Coast. That's William Snell on the return there. So 6:41 to play in the half. 12-6. Miami on top of Space Coast.
First and 10.
I like that point. Never worry until the offense scores multiple. Yeah. All right, so Parsons settles his team down. They'll come back out.
Right at the 25-yard line. 6:41 remaining. Plenty of time.
3 wide receivers to the left, one to the right, lone back in the backfield. Parsons calls for the ball. He gets it. Pump fake good. Handoff up the middle. Pick up 3, maybe 4.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. He's going to bring up
And that's Jalen Ben on the carry out of Liberty High. And I tell you, I like the fact that they didn't panic right there and try to throw the ball. I mean, they picked up 3, but sticking to the game plan. Hand it off, little play action. Parsons calling the play at the line of scrimmage. 3 to the left, 1 to the right again. This time the back will move over to Parsons' right. And that'll be offsides on Miami. And, of course, the finger pointing starts, but this, I think, is going to be off. Actually, it's false start. I was wrong. I stand corrected. So now that's going to back it up 5 yards and make it 2nd and 12 with 5:49 to play here in the first half. I'm Alan Slaughterzinski. Very much like to thank everyone logging in here tonight on 321 Sportscast. We are the official home for the Space Coast Tar Heels. We'll be broadcasting all of their home games this year from Richard Dick Blake Stadium. But I'll tell you what, if you look at their schedule and you play for another team in the FFA and want us to broadcast your game, we'd be happy to do so. Quick pitch to Ben. And he gets the 5 back, and he'll pick up 7. That'll bring up 3rd and about 4. It's not free, so we can negotiate the fee to broadcast. But I'll tell you what, we are always looking, and of course it's football, right? I mean, we always want to broadcast football. I'll tell you what this did for me last year. Aside from the fact that I fell in love with minor league football and love to watch these guys play, it passes the time to get to the draft. And, but it's entertaining quality football. 4:46 to play. But again, email us at 321sportscast@gmail.com, and let's talk about broadcasting your team on 321 Sportscast. Parsons drops back to throw. He's got that's picked off. This could be a pick 6 down the right sidelines. He's got one player to beat. He beats him, and into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown is number 3, Dondre Stringer, I believe. We got a couple flags down, though.
I think I know what one of them's going to do.
I didn't see it. What is it?
In excessive, he jumped and grabbed the crotch.
Oh, well. Was there anything before the interception? They're both in the end zone. This is post-possession. That was number 3. Now I've got 2 number 3s listed on the Chiefs roster. They're both offensive players. So that was either Dondre Stringer or John Potier. Now, I'm going to go with Potier because Stringer is listed at 5'7". Potier is listed at 6 foot. Potier is out of Miami Norland Senior High School, 6 foot, 195 pounds. That an unfortunate pick 6 as it goes off the hands of the wide receiver and into the hands of Potier. And with 4:17 to play, 2 special teams touchdowns. Now a defensive touchdown has the Tar Heels down by 12 pending the extra point. Unfortunate turn of events. If you're a Tar Heels fan, if you're one of the many, many watching from South Florida, this makes your Saturday night a little bit more special.
right here, Dick Blake Stadium.
Looking at the 4 divisions, the Chiefs play in the same division with the South Florida Chargers, the Hollywood Browns, and the Magic City Bulls. Last week, Miami with a 32-21 victory over those Magic City Bulls. Big division win for them. Snell looking to throw. He's got a man wide open, but just overthrows him, and he was wide open. As for the Space Coast Tarheels, they play in the same division with the Southwest Florida Gladiators, the West Coast Soldiers, and the Dunedin Pirates. Their loss last week, their 43-6 loss, came to those Gladiators. They play in the Florida Conference in the Central Division. Miami plays in the Alliance Conference in the South Division. As Caleb adjusts the score with 4:17 to play. 18-6 as we get ready for the kickoff here from Richard Dick Blake Stadium. Coming up this year, the Space Coast Tar Heels schedule, next week they're at the West Coast Soldiers, and that's, look, that's a pretty good team. Port Orange, 2 on the road before they come home to play Dunedin. They'll go back on the road to play the Florida Stingrays and return home for 3 straight against West Coast, Jacksonville, and Southwest. I believe one of those teams is already a forfeit before finishing up against Dunedin. And there's the kick. Fielded at the 25. I believe that's Rick Rivers again. Rivers gets out to about the 34 where he'll go down with 4:04 to play. And Parsons can only bring the offense back and try again. Other games on tap this week include Jacksonville at Magic City, South Florida at Duval, Florida at Port Orange, St. Augustine at Broward, Southwest Florida at South Florida Wolverines, Southeast Florida Reapers at the West Coast Soldiers, the Dunedin Pirates at Hollywood, and, of course, Miami at Space Coast, a game you're watching live on 321 Sportscast. 4:06 to play, first half, 18-6, Miami on top. Now, I'm grateful all the South Florida fans are on, but don't get too happy. Mr. Parsons, he can lead this comeback. Parsons will take the snap, throws, just not in sync right now with his wide receivers. He was a little bit earlier as the pass goes incomplete to Joshua Rodriguez. Rodriguez, 5'7", 140-pound wide receiver out of Astronaut High School. Played for Coach Randy Halleck and the War Eagles. Now, Justin Warden, the head coach for Astronaut, took them to the playoffs in each of the last 2 years. Is it a coincidence that their seasons in each of the last 2 years ended right here at Cocoa High School as the Tigers beat them in the second round of the playoffs in each of the last 2 years? 18-6, Parsons, little flare pass out of the backfield and brought down after a gain of maybe 2 is number 36, Jaquan Martin, the 6'1", 235-pound running back out of Heritage High School. Mark Ainsley, his former coach. Again, 22 former Brevard County High School football players on the roster. And right now, what I've deemed as a game of South Florida against Brevard County, we see it all the time with Cocoa and Booker T and Rockledge in Miami. Down the middle, picked off again. And again, I believe it's number 3. This is coming back, though. That could be a pick 6. But the flag is a block in the back. And again, this time, number 3 with the pick, and that is John Podier. And Podier returns it for a touchdown, but That's an illegal block in the back. And not happy about it are the Space Coast Tar Heels. All right, I'll tell you what, let's step aside, take a commercial break with 2:55 to play here in the first half. That's going to be an interception. It'll be Miami Chief ball. The touchdown negated, 18-6. Chiefs on top and with the football.
Smell that? It's playoff season. You know how you can tell? Because the playoffs are on. East will meet West, sevens will be bested, and banners will be lifted. So get in your car, your boat, or your train and get to B-Dubs. To celebrate this special time of the year, curl up with some wings, warm up by the TV with your closest savages, and order a frosty beer just like Mom used to pour. Merry playoffs, everyone. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
All right. Cam Stroud is up and off the field under his own power. It will be a turnover, but as we told you prior to the commercial break, the touchdown will not stand as Miami picks off Matt Parsons for the second time, second consecutive possession, actually. 2:55 to go and 3 turnovers here in the first half. We haven't seen a touchdown from Miami's offense yet. They haven't needed to score one because the defense has one and special teams has 2. And, you know, that's a championship formula when you're up by 12 on the road late in the first half and your offense hasn't scored a touchdown. So Miami in orange, moving from left to right on your handheld device or whatever device you're watching us on here tonight. These Tar Heels in black with the Tar Heel blue numbers on their jersey. They're on the right side of your screen. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Miami after the 15-yard penalty spot foul. So the ball will be placed at about the 32-yard line for quarterback Brandon Snell. Snell's got 2 to his left, 2 to his right. And the man in motion is running back Jordan. Across the middle, that'll drop. So Snell's pass a little low there. Applying pressure that time was Rashad A. Myers. You know where he went to school? I'll give you 2 guesses. Right here, buddy. 29 going to give up a TD. That's Sonny Joseph, the DB out of FIU. Snell back to throw, being pursued. Does he get out of it? No. But I'll tell you who should officially get credit for the sack is number 55 for the Tar Heels, and that is Devontae Jones, the 6'1", 255-pound lineman out of Cocoa High School, lives in Titusville. But Devontae Jones had Snell dead to rights. He got out until he was corralled in by the rest of the D linemen. But I'm going to give Snell at least Jones at least a half sack. Why do I keep saying snack? Because Snell. Half a sack on Snell. Get that out right. We are at the 2-minute warning.
We're at the 2-minute warning here at Lake Stadium. 18-6 Chiefs.
So your score is 18-6. Hate to do this to you folks, but I'm going to step aside one more time. We'll be back. And when we come back, we'll wrap up the first half here and get you set for second half action. Of course, you'll have an interview with Roger Lewis in between. We'll be back after these words from one or two of our local sponsors.
Stuff is not valuable anymore. People more and more are gravitating to the experiences they can share together, experiences they can share as a family, and we provide them with that. And so we take it very seriously that, hey, we're being entrusted with somebody's birthday party. We're creating memories.
We might be playing NFL rules. That's the shortest 2-minute warning, intermission or whatever you want to call it, I've ever seen. But that's a good thing because that first quarter took a long time to play. 3rd down and 25 now for the Miami Chiefs. 1:59 officially. Snell back to pass, pump fakes to his left, goes back to his right, and that ball was nearly picked off. We've got a little bit of pushing and shoving, and wisely walking away from the play there is the aforementioned 29 by Dick Flacco, and that is Troy Hurd out of North Dakota University. Hurd. Now this is 4th and 25. I seriously doubt they're going to go for this. Back deep for Space Coast is Dedrick Witherspoon, the 170-pound defensive back out of Heritage High School. So with 1:53 to play, kind of set the table a little bit here for Space Coast fans. Look, you can get the ball back here. Parsons has good command of a hurry-up offense. Get a quick strike or get a strike before the end of the half, you're right in this thing. Oh, and that one goes off the back of the defensive line. That wasn't blocked. He just simply kicked the ball into the back of his offensive line. And the Tar Heels will take over 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Wow. Don't say anything. Don't say anything because I know a position of need for both of these teams. 1:42 to play. It's early. It's early in the season. He just drilled that. And, look, I commend these guys on the effort, getting out here and playing on Saturday nights, no money, working all week. But he drilled his offensive lineman in the back with that one. You got to get that up. And just like I said, obviously the reason we don't see Space Coast punting, that's obviously the reason we don't see Miami punting. So 1st and 10, a ball inside of the Broomhilde red zone. Give is to the lone back, and he's going to be tackled forward, he being Jalen Ben. And it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 1.5. Here's where you don't want to get foolish. You just want to turn your back and walk away for Space Coast. If you're Miami, I get trying to entice them into 15 yards. Because the only thing that's going to happen here for you is half the distance and a 1st down. I understand that. I don't like it. It's not smart football, but I get it.
I guess it would be smart if you're on the defense.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, no. If you're Space Coast, you just need to turn and walk back to the huddle. 15 yards here is a death sentence on this drive. It just is. These guys are too quick. So Matt Parsons, 50 seconds to go. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. Parsons turns and gives back to Ben. Ben cuts it back. He will not get in. And we got a flag down on the far side of the field. See what the call is. Preliminarily, offsides on Miami. So Miami's going to be charged with an offsides here with 39 seconds to play. Now, that'll stop the clock. That's half the distance. In the backfield right now for Space Coast is Raekwon Johnson and Jalen Ben. Parsons has them right back to the line of scrimmage. Bunch formation. Well, not necessarily because you still have 2 wide receivers on the right. Bunch formation is 1 wide receiver with a tight end or 2, and that's not what they have for sure. Parsons under center for the first time tonight. Looks like the lead blocker. Parsons going to keep it himself, and he's going to get in for the Space Coast touchdown with 18 seconds to go in the half. So, special teams has been generous all night to the Miami Chiefs. This time it backfires and the Tar Heels cash in with 6 of their own to close the lead to 18-12 with 17 seconds to play in the second quarter. And Dick Flacco, you are right. We could still possibly have a game. I just like saying that guy's last name, being from Baltimore. You know what I mean? I'm glad he's on the broadcast and commenting. But I got to tell you, man, I was always a big Joe Flacco fan. Named my dog Flacco. I'm a diehard Baltimore sports fan. Our family, a dog named Flacco. Unfortunately, we had to put him down over the summer. Coincidentally, the same time that, Joe Flacco no longer a Raven. We got 2 cats named Ripken and Sizzle for Terrell Suggs. So, look, to say I'm a sports fanatic is an understatement. Never forget that Super Bowl Joe Flacco had, that playoff run that Joe Flacco had. 12, 13 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Of course, Anquan Bolden, big part of that. Dennis Pitta, Ray Rice. It was a pretty good offense. So 17 seconds to go in the first half. And following the miscue on the punt, the Tar Heels have cashed in. And I'll say this for the Tar Heels. They did get points off turnovers on the fumble they recovered. And they do cash in on the miscue on the punt off the back of the offensive line. So Parsons will now line up in the shotgun, looking for 2 here. No harm, no foul here, really. Right now, anyway. Sets him up a little bit later. Parsons, he pitches it, that he just puts his back in no man's land, but he gets in. What an effort by Jalen Ben to finish it off. How did he get in? Parsons pitched it to him, nearly got him killed, but Ben stops, bumps to the outside, finds the pylon, 4-2 to make the score 18-14. Wow. Yeah, Bolden was a savior. For sure. I couldn't believe the Ravens let him go that offseason. Just couldn't believe it. "17 seconds to play. 18-14 is the score.